Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am French Chad Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. It is September 18th of 2024. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. And let's say it together. Praise our God, from whom all blessings flow. Yes, yes, yes. 8:33 in the a.m. People, last night I started doing another video, but I'm like, you know what, it's kind of late, 10 p.m. Didn't think the video would get the type of traction that it should, because my algorithm that I have, it works against me. So the best time to do my video is in the morning. We'll get more views and get the word out to the glory of God and to those patriotic people who believe in America can see the video. This video is titled, and it's from Redacted, Ryan Wesley Ruth is a patsy groomed by the CIA and trained at Fort Bragg, ex-CIA agent. When I say this is a powerful video, it's a powerful video, and I'll put it in the description. If you want to really get the meat of it, go to the 6-minute mark and go from there. Clayton does an excellent job. The host here, I believe his numbers. I believe in Redacted. They're fighting for our country, just like I'm fighting for our country. Clayton's numbers are basically saying that Trump will win in a landslide. I'm gonna say it again. And this is not the first time I've heard this. And Clayton said specifically, he said, this is Clayton here. He said not only will he win in a landslide, but according to the electoral college numbers, Trump will win. People, in relation to the assassination attempt on July 13th, and arguably and questionably so, this last one that just came a few days ago, my question to you is that, should Trump be more concerned about his safety? Because see, here's the reality. I've been listening to Trump's son. Trump's son is right here, and he's saying, my father would keep fighting with the same, basically getting out here and do what he got to do. Trump's female lawyer, the same thing. People, at some point you become a martyr, don't you? You become a martyr. I've been teaching that this thing is fake. They're planning it. What do you think? If I didn't know what I know, the first thing I would be saying, he's walking into his own demise. Being out in public more and not having a bulletproof glass around you when you're speaking, it's look, we got what, 50 something days it is left before the campaign. I watched the show the other day, and this person was like, you know what, why don't we just have the election today? Why don't we just have the election today? And I thought about it, I'm like, wow, what a statement. Let's get it done. What do you think? Would you like to have the election today and get it done? I don't think it'd be a problem. I think it'd be the same results, but be it as it may. This gentleman here, a former CIA trained person, this guy is saying, look, this guy is a patsy. That is the guy who was in the fence at Palm Beach, Florida. He's also saying that the Democratic Party is wicked, and he don't put nothing past them. Look, I'm trying to be careful with my words, so I want you to understand something. This guy is not pulling no punches. He's saying they're trying to usurp, overthrow the government, and treason is hard to prove. But he said if it can be proven, he ain't got no problem with a public hanging of the people who's going up against our democracy and interfering with read between the lines. And he's also saying there's too many things, too many signs that were there with this guy, Ruth, this gunman. This guy had the AK-47, that he couldn't have been a lone gunman. Then he concludes in saying, American people gotta think of it like this. He said, we don't have presidents anymore. He said, what we have is that we have warlords. And man, when he said that, I was floored. So let me play you just a snip, because I'm only allowed a minute. And this is the minute that I chose. Listen to this guy.
And he could not have brought it on the airplane. So he had lots of help. And he also had, apparently, I would guess, I think the strongest guess is he had someone in Trump's entourage. Because they say the golf date was kind of a spontaneous thing early in the morning or early in the afternoon. And so there was not a lot of time. So somebody close to him leaked it, or leaked that it was going to happen at some point tomorrow, and then they refined the time when they found out exactly when he was going. But it's there's CIA people probably around Trump. There's FBI people around Trump. There's good and bad about that. If they're loyal, it's fine. If not, they're an enormous danger. There's politicians around the time, and a lot of politicians say they like him, but they just as soon see him dead, because if he gets into power, it's going to upset the gravy train for them.
Powerful. Listen again.
People probably around Trump. There's FBI people around Trump. There's good and bad about that. If they're loyal, it's fine. If not, they're an enormous danger. There's politicians around the time, and a lot of politicians say they like him, but they just as soon see him dead, because if he gets into power, it's going to upset the gravy train for them.
I remember the first time I heard that word, the gravy train. It was in my 20s. And when I understood what it meant, that pyramid, if you will, that list of people who make so much money when a certain administration is in there, particularly war, read between the lines. People, Donald Trump is fighting, like I've been saying in a lot of my videos, what he's fighting. Even if I did not believe that this was all orchestrated. Trying to get and unravel this boa constrictor under this administration, when you got that much money being made off of weapons and tanks and you name it, man, it will cost you your life. Arguably, from my research way back in the day, this is what got Dr. King killed. Folks say he was part of the Boule, but they say the mistake he made was when he started dealing with international politics, i.e. the Vietnam War. That's when the powers took him out. This international gravy train, this $1 trillion unelected people, I could do the alphabet list of names, and I couldn't do it all in one video. I'm sure you know just about it more than I do. I've told you about Smedley Butler and the Decorated Soldier. War is a racket. Let me digress. We don't have presidents, we have warlords. Tell me what you think. Now, I want you to look at something here. What is the Dead Sea worth? The mineral wealth of the Dead Sea, the repudiated bed of Sodom and Gomorrah, is estimated to be 800 million pounds sterling, an equivalent of $4 trillion, a sum which would be sufficient to pay the expenses of all nations who participated in the World War, declared Sir Hubert Samuel former high. Anyway, let me speak without speaking. People, when you have wars and you have resources, a lot of geopolitics, people are saying, because this is the Dead Sea is in the Middle East. So I want you to put on your thinking cap. America is in financial trouble. Deep doo-doo. And we have, like I pointed out this past week, we have other nations leaving us, going to China and wrapping their arms around Russia. When you have that and your dollar is getting weak, historically, like Gerald Celente, who I've had on my show before, I featured him, you go to war. But many times you have to ask yourself why. You got $4 trillion, they say, maybe even more, of minerals in the Dead Sea in the Middle East. Could there be a trade-off of the wealth that they have in exchange for arms in the Middle East? I'm just putting it out there. Allegedly. And think about what I'm saying here. We have had other wars, and we have other wars. Are there this in other regions of the world where we have wars? When you put together what I just pointed at and think about other wars, Google it, watch YouTube, put this in, and it's gonna blow your mind. And if you already know what I'm saying, put in the comments section. We don't have presidents, we have warlords. Now listen to this. This came out yesterday. Secretary of Treasury, this is Janet Yellen, proposed budget up by $500 billion. We're doomed. Listen to this here. This is John Kerry, politician. He's grilling Janet Yellen of the Federal Reserve, an entity that I despise because they keep giving out, loaning out money. And trust me, this is the entity that will help topple this country.
The President's proposed budget proposes $4.7 trillion in new taxes.
It does propose significant additional taxes, yes.
4.7 trillion?
Something like that, yes.
Gross debt will rise from $32.7 trillion at the close of this year to $51 trillion by 2033.
I'm sorry, what number did you give me for, well, debt held by the public, which is?
No, ma'am, that's gross debt. Isn't that a fact?
That's probably a fact.
So you haven't reduced the deficit, have you?
The deficit, the debt and deficits are reduced.
How can you go from $33 trillion to $51 trillion and call that a reduction in the deficit? It raised.
It's deep, y'all. From 30-something trillion dollars to 50-something trillion dollars in debt. We're watching the P. Diddy, right? We're watching the Trump thing. And because I keep saying that America is business, our doom and gloom is in relation to the Federal Reserve and the debt. And Biden is adding to the debt while all this is going on, killing off our children and our children's children financially. It's deep, y'all. And keep this in perspective, because my question is, this gravy train, that's what Trump is fighting against, and this debt. They got to fund the war, baby. And they got to get money from overseas, allegedly, through these minerals. It's deep. Watch this.
The U.S. national debt is higher than it's ever been at any point in its history. In 2024, it's sitting at $35 trillion, which is over $100,000 of debt for every person in the U.S. And just this year, the United States will spend almost $900 billion on interest payments. That's more than the U.S. spends on its military, and it's more than the entire government annual spending of a wealthy, medium-sized country like Spain. Now, if that sounds like a lot, it's because it is. But this is not actually the problem. This is where the problem just begins. The real issue here is that the national debt keeps growing every day, currently rising by $1 trillion about every 100 days. And the pace of this growth is constantly increasing. And perhaps even a bigger issue is that the US government doesn't have a plan for how to fix that. And in fact, it's not even trying to do that anymore. And it's quite likely that it wouldn't even be able to if it did. Instead, the government itself expects the problem to just get worse, and even
National debt will exceed $50 trillion by 2034, budget watchdog estimates. I think it speaks for itself. We're going into a one-world system. We're beyond the crashing of the economy. We can't even pay the debt. And what did the stats say? $1 trillion every what? Every 100 days. The U.S. national debt is rising by $1 trillion every 100 days. I can't even wrap my mind around it. I gotta move forward. Keep going, Pearson. Now, Trump plans to keep campaign schedule this week. Should he be careful or should he be his normal self? That's the question. Check it out.
Now, and in fact, open spaces generally, right? But I spoke to Carol Leonnig, who you know, obviously, your colleague, who has done extensive reporting on the Secret Service. And I asked her about what Trump can and can't do, even if the Secret Service advises against it. Here's what she told me.
He can continue to golf. He can continue to hold outdoor events. But I think he's going to be counseled that this is not safe. It's so important for candidates to be near the people in the weeks and days before the election. Well, everyone now knows that is what got John F. Kennedy killed. He insisted to the Secret Service over and over again, I want an open car so that voters can see me coming by.
So I know, Josh.
It's deep. It's deep, JFK. That's what got him killed. Trump is on the same trajectory. Now check this out. I always look at certain things with the interviewers. Arguably, this has an X formation in it, the pillar. Was it staged? Was it staged? Look at the pillar. It's got the X in it. But also, once you look at her background, look at her background. I want you to notice. X. And the pillars have X's in them. It's coming, people. 24th letter of the alphabet is X. It's coming. These folks are speaking without speaking. This thing is, again, it's being orchestrated. Now, here's some people out at the rally, first rally he had since this so-called attempt a few days ago. He's taking bullets for us, says Trump supporters in Michigan.
Strong too, because this man's out here taking bullets for us, so I have to be strong too.
Yeah, I'm concerned for everyone's safety on both sides. The country is so divided right now, and both political parties are so divisive. And I'm hoping that Donald Trump will bring this country back together, somewhere where we can unite around a common goal.
I'm here for Donald Trump. He is my man. He's my president. He is the chosen one in my book. And that's why I'm here. I've been volunteering for Donald Trump all 3 times he ran, and I will continue until he is president. I am concerned about Donald Trump's safety, but I believe God has his back. He showed it twice that he has his back, and I pray he continues to have his back. Do I think that I'm at jeopardy? Maybe. But guess what? I'll die for my country.
That's deep, people. I can definitely, I admire that. But again, my question is, when I put in perspective, is he walking down the same road that JFK did and becoming a martyr? Now, here's a video I did of 3 months ago. Okay, this is deep. Why is a coffin in a pickup truck? Right? This guy was one of the few who were against Trump, and he's standing up. When you hear his name, you'll see what I'm saying. It was worth researching. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a pattern. And if I had known, and if I had somebody to help me work this thing out, with all the videos I've done between my last 2 channels, I bet I could come up with at least 10 people who were interviewed who had certain presidential names. Presidential names for people who are being interviewed. Is that coincidence? Listen and notice on the pickup truck, he's got Donald's coffin. Listen. Meet Joshua Ginger Monroe. I featured him briefly in last night's video. I went to bed thinking about this guy, and this morning I couldn't shake it. So I went to dive deep so I could put this up against the 5 C's once again. The news person talked about the opposing view of Mr. Joshua Ginger Monroe. Notice the name, Joshua, like in the Bible. Ginger, and then Monroe. Did we not have a president named Monroe? Notice he's gone to black and white. If you got $10,000, you stay in the middle and give $5,000 to both. And you win because you control both sides. The black and white is like a checkerboard in powers. Is a coincidence that both his sign and his shirt is black and white. Is that coincidence? But why? Why did not the reporter speak on this? I mean, it's definitely speaking. It's speaking without speaking. That's the death and demise of Donald J. Trump. And we know his slogan is, "Make America Great Again," so we just have to think that when he goes, America goes. So let me play for you what this guy said. I pray this is monetized. Let's see what happens.
A protester in the parking lot holding a "Lock Him Up" sign exchanged words with many Trump supporters. Joshua Ginger Monroe says he's proud to be an opposing voice.
Because somebody's got to stand out here as an opposition to Donald Trump and his cult. These people worship a golden calf, and they think that everybody thinks like them. I'm up here to tell them that no, it's wrong.
Trump did make...
Let's hear it again. Golden calf, his cult, all that. These are code words to me. And again, his name, Joshua Ginger Monroe.
Protester in the parking lot holding a "Lock Him Up" sign exchanged words with many Trump supporters. Joshua Ginger Monroe says he's proud to be an opposing voice.
Because somebody's got to stand out here as an opposition to Donald Trump and his cult. These people worship a golden calf, and they think that everybody thinks like them. I'm up here to tell them that no, it's wrong.
Trump did make...
Opposition. So let's look at this. Donald J. Trump was born June 14th of 1946. Now this guy's name again is Joshua Ginger Monroe. I'm like, well, let me go historical and look up Monroe, because we had a president. In fact, our 5th president, his name was James Monroe. Again, the 5th president of these United States. And he died July 4th, 1831. He was born April 28th of 1758. April 28th. If we take April 28th and bring it to 2024, subtract it from 6/14 of 2024, which is Donald Trump's birthday, the difference is 47. Come on, man. Ain't that crazy? Donald Trump's going to be the 47th president. And it's speaking without speaking. But if you include the ending date, you get 6 weeks and 6 days. 6. But wait, you also get the elimination number of 48, which is August 8th all day, of which I've been explaining for months now. The eclipse was on April 8th. An eclipse to me means the X. It is the X all day. This thing getting deep, y'all. Gotta remember, just like the pillar, people. Just like the pillar we saw. It's got the X. I don't care what nobody say. There's a plan to take Trump out, and they're showing us gradually what's going on. And I am going to keep showing you guys the subtleties of these plans. I want to show you this X again. This is the X's in these pillars. And then you got this guy sitting up here, and he got a coffin. But I'm about to blow your mind and stop this video. I want you to see something. He was at a place called Sunset Park. Sunset Park. Sunset Park. That's gonna blow your mind. I want you to see something. First of all, on his sign said lock him up. Lock him up. This is cold, baby. Watch this. Lock him up comes out to 45 in reduction and 45 in reverse. Who was the 45th president? Barack Obama. Now, let's go for, not Barack Obama, I'm sorry. The 45th president was Trump. So he's at a Trump rally saying lock him up. He got a sign, black and white. And lock him up means 45, which is Trump, right? But check this out. Sunset. Sunset comes out to, let's see, 1914, Sunset Park, P-A-R-K. Look at what Sunset Park comes out to. Now this is deep. I want you to see the symbolism in it. Sunset, like sundown. So sunset is like darkness. Think about it. Sunset. Death. Coffin of Trump. Park. Sunset Park is what? 36 and 63. That's deep. Now we're just gonna take away the sunset. Park is 46. 46 is destruction. The 46th president is who? Joe Biden. Kennedy died at 46. George Orwell died at 46. George Floyd died at 46. And 19 is always chaos. C-H-A-O-S. 19 is chaos, and also 46. Ain't that deep? 19 and 46 is chaos. And Park comes out to 19 and 46 as well. Isn't that deep? Both Park and chaos come out to 19 and 46. People, if you don't think that Donald Trump's going to be a martyr, you think again. My name is Franchot Pearson. Have this video as a keepsake. I'm telling you guys, they're going to take him out, but it's going to be a phony Trump. This is all planned. It's all planned. God bless you. And remember, God loves you. We got to get with him, stay right, and get ready for the flight. They're going to use his martyrdom. They're going to use him as a martyr to take over America. It's all planned. I know some folks don't want to hear it. I got to tell you the truth. And I'm constantly showing you guys what's going on. And like I say, this guy got his information. His name is Joshua. I already showed you Joshua Monroe, that historically there was a president named James Monroe, and how he met his fate. There's enough there to let you understand what's really going on. Remember, and new subscribers, remember this. You got to check daily to make sure you're subscribed. Ring the bell, because at some point you will be unsubscribed. This is the game that the algorithm does, or somebody does it. You become unsubscribed to my channel. So you have to stay subscribed. You just have to form a good habit. God bless you. God bless you. Please, a thumbs up. Thank you.